How hurt were you in the first?
Do you know what? To be honest, I was totally fine. I mean, obviously, it sounds like, I'm full of bravado saying that, but my faculties were with me at all times because I remember everything about the fight. A lot of fights, actually, you don't really know what happened and exactly what happened. So he drops me, obviously, good and proper, and he did a great job of following up in that first round. He got a couple of big elbows, which opened up the big cut, and that's what did my eye. But as I say, I was, I knew I had to get back to my feet, and he was doing a good job of ground and pounding, but I was totally with it, and I managed to get back to my feet. I mean, the thing is, I dominated that fight. He had a couple of big moments, but realistically, he won 2 minutes of a 25-minute fight. Other than that, I feel like I was in control of the fight for the most part. I was stalking him down, I was controlling the octagon, I was being the aggressor, I was outstriking him. But he had a couple of good moments, so God bless him.
So in between rounds, you came out in the second, and it was still pretty swollen. They didn't they didn't press it or put that. What do they do when they want to press down? Is there a reason they didn't do that?
I have no idea. That's a good point. I guess you'd have to ask the cutman about that. But he filled it full of Vaseline, and I think that was his main concern, really. I don't know, to be honest, if one of those cold press things would have helped, to be honest, because it was just that swollen. It was kind of ridiculous. But, as I say, God bless Dan. He landed a couple of good shots there in the first and second. But, as I say, I have my faculties with me at all points. And, managed to turn the tide.
So at one point, how badly was your vision? You had surgery to repair a detached retina. How bad was the vision by the second round?
Yeah, no. As I say, it was swollen, but I could still see. It was definitely restricted, but I was fine. I could see. So it was nice and swollen, but I could still see Dan Henderson fully, which is a good job. You need to see when you're fighting.
And we just talked to Forrest Griffin, by the way. Forrest wanted to ask you. You don't. Forrest wanted us to say.
Well, hold on. You got to say it in the same condescending, cunty tone that Forrest Griffin said it.
I don't want to say it like that.
No, you got to say it. You promised Forrest that you would say it the same way.
You don't open with a left hook to a guy who throws a big right. That was Forrest. He just said that with that tone. I didn't care for it, Michael.
The same fucking lumbering buffoon that got knocked out with a jab against Anderson Silva. Shut the fuck up. Take a back seat and disappear. Fucking arsehole. It's called mixing it up, my friend. It's called mixing it up. What's he know, the fucking goofball?
That was quite a harsh response.
he also said that he really loves and respects you.
Cocksucker.
Yeah, he did. He really did say that he respects you and he thinks you're great.
We're starting a war.
Likewise, if I was a cool guy, but if he's gonna fucking critique, I'm gonna respond.
Was there a reason though? Because I did notice you throwing the lead left hook.
Oh boy, I don't know. You still gonna ask that question after his response?
Well, no, hold on. I will say because the commentators were saying Dan Henderson was covering up his right side a lot. Like he had his arm glued to his face. Was it part of the plan to attack that side of his chin? Were you that specific, or you just look for any opening really?
Yeah, the thing is, generally I use the jab a lot, and I had some very successful jabs in there. But you can't be too predictable. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you can open with a left hook. Of course, people can fucking counter. You know what I mean? Everyone's got a counter to a counter to a counter to a counter. What would he prefer that I led with? There's a counter. Whatever he might have suggested, there's a counter to that. So you've got to mix it up. You've got to keep your opponent guessing. So, of course, the jab is always a good one to start with. But don't be overly predictable. If you can land a good left hook, you can land a good left hook. I was planning on using the left high kick a lot, which I did. I had a lot of good success with that because, I know he has his hand through his chin. Now, if you're using the head kick, either he blocks with that arm, which means he can't throw the right hand, or he eats a head kick in the face. You know what I'm saying? So the head kick was a good strategy. That's what I was thinking. He's either going to block it or he's going to get kicked in the head. And if he's blocking it, he's not throwing the right hand. So that was the thought.
Yeah, that's a good point, too, about not seeing, like, the idea of surprise. Like, when Ali fought Foreman, he threw all those right-hand leads, and they said he probably did it just because Foreman would not be expecting him to do that. And that might be the last thing Henderson expects you to throw in the beginning of the fight. So, yeah, I hadn't considered that either.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You got to keep him guessing. That's why I was, a lot of head movement, a lot of feints, a lot of footwork. You got to try and keep them guessing. You can't be overly predictable.
Yeah, also a lot of different techniques with your kicks. I noticed a lot of like unique type karate style kicks. Was that something that you were just specifically doing to keep them guessing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just trying to keep it in guessing. Using that bit of footwork I was doing and whatnot. I was nice and confident. I was in my groove. I felt great. I mean, I know I had those couple of scary moments, but as I say, other than that, I felt really good in there. And I still felt in control of the fight. As I say, he did have those big moments, and as I say, God bless him, well done. He's a tough son of a bitch. Dan Henderson really is as tough as old boots. He's as tough as they come. But as I say, I felt great. I felt really good. As I say, I was stalking him down. I was being the aggressor. I was winning the fight, but I just allowed him to get off with 2 big shots, which he capitalized and fucking made a right mess of my face.
And what about the decision? Because we were watching it over at SiriusXM. Obviously, everyone's team Bisping. Rooting for you, and it was very tense because we scored the fight for you, and I agree with the decision. There a lot of people after every decision. There seems to be a ton of people that call controversy. But before they announced you, was there any part of you that was like, shit, maybe they might give him this decision?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I was confident I got the decision. I mean, as I said before, let's be honest. He had 2 big moments in the fight. Other than that, it was plain sailing. I controlled the entire fight, apart from at the end of the first round, and I think it was towards the end of the second round. He had a couple of big moments. Other than that, I dominated the fight. I mean, one just gave 49-46. I was confident I got the decision, but even still, when it goes to the judges like that, you never know. So as I say, I was expecting to get the decision, but it's always a tense situation when he was saying, and I'm thinking, come on, Bruce, get off of me, get off of me, don't tease me. Just fucking say, still or new, which one is it? I was confident, but there's always a little bit of nerves there.
And did you think in the second round he looked like he was breathing with his mouth open? And I'm wondering, did he kind of gas himself a little bit at the end of that first, dropping those elbows?
Yeah, look, listen. I mean, Dan Henderson, we know he's an old veteran, and he faked that nut shot. I'm not sure what round it was, 4 or 5. And it took 5 minutes off. I mean, that guy deserves an Oscar. It's now 4, yeah. He deserves an Oscar because that was bullshit, because I did not kick him in the balls at all. And he milked that. That guy was fucking gassed. He was too tired. And he just sat there and he had a breather. That's why I gave him a bow, because fucking hell, the guy deserves an Emmy or something like that, because that was quite the performance.
Now, did you attend the press conference?
No, I didn't. No, what did I do? There wasn't a press conference, apparently. So there wasn't, because it was so late. It was 6 in the morning, so there wasn't a press conference per se like there is at normal events. I got stitched off by the doctor. That took a while. And then the UFC pissed me off. They insisted that I had to go for a facial scan, just to make sure I didn't have a fractured cheekbone or anything like that. So that was all good. No problems there. So, but as I said, there wasn't an actual press conference today.
Now, who do you want to fight next? I mean, you have to have some sort of a preference. I mean, there's so many good guys, but I mean, for fan interest and for the money, who do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if that fucking that whiner, if that crybaby, if Weidman wants to do it, then I'm more than happy. If he gets past Yoel Romero next month, let's do it, son. And I'm happy. He thinks I'm ducking him. He's fucking crazy. I've never ducked anyone in my life. I'm certainly not going to start with that fucking douchebag. So, if he wants to do it, he can come out here and he can try and wrestle me to death, but he'll fucking find himself getting punched in the face repeatedly. And, Dan Henderson's a tough bastard, but I'll finish this fight, that's for sure.
Why do you think he's a whiner? I mean, he's a pretty tough guy. What makes you say that?
He doesn't stop complaining, does he? Fucking feels everyone owes him something. Fucking preaches on about God and this and that. Just shut the fuck up. He's not part of God's plan. If there is a God, he's got bigger fish to fry than worrying about fucking Chris Weidman fucking fight.
Now, Weidman was one of the guys that afterwards tweeted out, and I wish I had his tweet in front of me, so I do apologize if I have this wrong, but he tweeted something along the lines of, I do not like that decision. And there was a handful of fighters as well as fans that were complaining about the decision.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can all kiss my ass. I mean, of course, Weidman's going to say that because he can't be objective because his perspective is completely skewed because he doesn't like me because he's a competitor. Now, of course, there's other Dan Henderson fans out there, and they're absolutely crazy. They're not professional judges. They're fans of Dan Henderson. They're not fans of me. So that's skewing their vision, if you will. They're not looking at it through rose tinted spectacles. That's for sure. They're looking at it the opposite. But they want Dan to win. They want me to lose. So that's why they see it that way. But the impartial judges that have paid the professionals that do it, they all saw the fight for me. It wasn't a split decision. It was a unanimous decision. 49-46. And as I say, he landed 2 good fucking punches in a 25-minute fight. That's it. Other than that, he was on his back foot. He was fucking backing off the whole time. He had some good moments, as I say, but they were too little. You know, you don't win a 25-minute fight by landing 2 good shots.
Now, Chris had told me before the show, I guess they're changing some of the rules for
January, I think.
Yeah, in January. And one of the things that they're going to start judging, one of the criteria they're going to start judging based off of is striking impact, meaning damage in a fight, which is something that they haven't really judged until this point. You know, obviously looking at both of you guys after the fight, you know, you looked the worse for wear. How do you feel about that change? And because, you know, I think there's a handful of complications that come with that.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, that's all well and good, and I think it's a very, very good idea. I mean, as I say, I mean, you can't deny the impact. There was fucking, they did some damage. He landed 2 good big right hands, and one of them he followed up with a really nasty elbow that opened up. That's what did my cheek. It was one fucking elbow. You know, it's not like he spent 25 minutes doing that to me. There was one elbow that did my eye, and 2 punches that put me down. That was it. Now, other than that, you know, I outboxed him the whole fucking time. So, you know, yeah, great, good, bring that in. Even still on that criteria, I still won the fucking fight. He landed 2 good shots. As I say, you don't win a 25-minute fight by landing 2 or 3 good